So, the Russian...
You're listening to CreepGeeks Podcast. So it begins again. Welcome to CreepGeeks Podcast. This is Season 10, Episode 362.
World Cup FIFA 2026, Stargate, Star Trek, Sentient Plasmoids, and Good Drone, Bad Drone.
Yeah. So here we are. Welcome to the podcast. If it's your very first time tuning in to CreepGeeks Podcast, we're glad you're here. And if you are one of the listeners, welcome. Actually, it's just welcome for everybody. For some reason, we have lots of downloads all of a sudden. I don't know exactly why. So if you're tuning in for the very first time from very far away, like maybe Japan, hello.
Yeah.
I don't know any Japanese words. I was afraid I'd try one and it would be completely incorrect. It happens sometimes. We do have a lot of stuff we're going to talk about with the podcast today. A lot of things that we find to be interesting we try to talk about. Sometimes I slip in pieces of our conversation into the podcast. So there's several things in this particular episode where we have talked about them around dinner time, and we're going to talk about them this time. And just so you know, it is dinner time for us, so no time to fool around. Lots of eating to do. I'm just saying, the blood sugar's a little weird, so, it is what it is. But we do appreciate you taking time to tune in. If you'd like to get a hold of us or interact with us, we have a toll-free telephone number which you can call and leave a text message.
The phone number is going to be 575-208-4025.
Yeah, toll-free, doesn't cost anything at all, and it's internet-based.
You can also email us at contact@creepgeeks.com, or you can find us on social media. Pretty much just type CreepGeeks Podcast. You will find us.
Yes, and this episode is brought to you by BARLEY'S Bites. They are our sponsor of this particular podcast episode because we like them and we like their dog treats. We like them as people. We don't like them just for their dog treats. It's just in case you're listening, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they make the dog treats that our dog Jack likes, and that other rotten dog, what's his name? Creed.
The neighborhood puppy.
Yeah, he's not.
The rotten dog.
He's not rotten. He's gangly, man. He's and
goofy.
He's a puppy, and he's goofy. Yeah.
And he broke in yesterday morning and scared the bejesus out of me.
Yeah, why don't you tell everybody what kind of day you had real quick and keep it quick?
My
Yeah,
gosh.
take all the time you need. You've got about 20 seconds.
So yesterday morning, Jack was being an annoying teenager and didn't want to go pee-pee or poo-poo on his little walk. So we had to go get rained on. He finally peed. I go inside, and Creed the puppy quietly, like totally silent, snuck in behind both of us, startled us so bad that Jack jumped, and I fell against the door and locked myself out of the house.
Yep.
Yes. And then to make things worse, by the time I left to get to work, it smelled as though a neighborhood dog had eliminated a skunk in our front yard.
Sweet.
So that was so pleasant.
Yeah.
I'm done with these mornings.
Mornings are for suckers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's all good. Could have been a lot worse.
yeah.
Because you called me, my phone is perpetually set to silent, so it never rings because, I'm paying for it. I don't want to talk to anybody unless it's on, on my own. My own choosing, right? So if you call, I'm not answering.
Yes.
If I answer, it's by accident because I'm trying to hang up the call.
So how did I figure out a way to contact you?
You did the whole find me thing, and my phone was making a noise that I had no idea what was going on.
I could hear it.
I thought you already went to work.
No.
I'd been asleep for like 40 minutes. And I'm like, man, I guess I'm going to get up and get coffee. And I'm like, what? 8:30?
Yeah, so if you have a friend or a lost phone that's on silent or whatever, the Find My feature works really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't want your friend to call you and use the Find My feature, just don't ever accept any of the invites for Find Mine, just in case you were wondering. You should go to BARLEY'SBites.com because they have basically the top quality homemade dog treats that we enjoy. Right? Every dog can eat them. They're good. It's better food than what we eat, honestly. We're about to eat fried chicken out of a box. And these are way better. So there's no harmful chemicals, healthy ingredients. It's good stuff. So, and also we have a promo code that you can use. So if you go to BARLEY'SBites.com, and the link is actually in the show notes in case you don't know how to spell Barley's Bites, it's take you right to it. And you put in CreepGeeks, and you get a discount. I think it's worth it because it's time for us to reorder. So we're going to be doing that here real soon.
Yep.
So in our podcast, we talk about things we find to be interesting as we broadcast our paranormal news, weird stories, and personal experiences from our underground bunker in the mountains of Western North Carolina. And we also talk about things we've talked about in the past when it comes time for an update. And in the previous episode, 2 episodes ago, we were talking about something I noticed on TikTok. I said it's that time of year where the British people start complaining about the heat. And then they say that the heat's nothing, our heat here in America and USA is nothing compared to European heat. Mm-hmm. Which reminds me that Sasquatch went to Japan.
Yeah.
And we had talked about bears in the previous episode about, we were kind of amazed at how many bears there were.
Yeah.
And this cat went into the woods with like a tuna and mayonnaise, like rice ball. And he put it on TikTok, right? He went out into the forest, right? And he was like, imagine, so I said, man, bears. And he said, yeah, that's all they talked about where he was.
Yeah.
Because I don't know exactly where he went, but I was looking at his pictures. Looked like he had a good time. Him and his significant other, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. Confirmation. There's bears. I didn't think that, Japan's relatively small. It is very small compared to the U.S., but they
got a lot
they
of
had
bears.
more bears per
Their bear ratio rivals Western North Carolina and Great Smoky Mountains.
Yeah, well, it rivals the U.S.
Yeah.
So if you take the number of people and you do a proportionate ratio,
well, yeah,
they have just as many bear instances as we do, and we are ginormous compared to,
Like, their bear incidents are surpassing Gatlinburg, which is hard to believe.
Yeah, Gatlinburg is turned into a bear-friendly town because they enjoy Domino's. They enjoy all the restaurants.
The candy shop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll just walk down the street. And tourists, will just go up and try to stand next to them and take pictures. It's like, man, that is a black bear.
Yeah.
And black bears will fight you. A grizzly bear may ignore you. A brown bear may ignore you. You're supposed to play dead or whatever when you get around them or just be real still, right?
Yeah.
Black bears, they say if it tries to get you, you're supposed to fight him as hard as you can. And they got really sharp claws. Man, they will tear apart a Honda Accord to get to a French fry that your kid left in the back seat. Because I see that all the time in Gatlinburg. They get a rental car and they go up and they park in a cabin and there's a bear and they're ripping stuff apart. And it's always like a Honda or a Toyota or something like that.
Honda Element, that was the phase where like half of them were Honda Elements.
No, they weren't Elements. They were the Honda version of a Toyota RAV4. What is that?
Or no, not Honda. Pilot?
No, it's a smaller one. Oh. CRV. We had one. Because you can rent those and they got bigger over time. But anyway, so Europe has been complaining that we don't know heat. Mm-hmm. We're Europe. We know heat. It's like Europe is about the same size as our country.
Yeah.
Take a good chunk of Europe, almost all of it, you can stick it in the U.S.
Yeah.
Okay, we're big.
And still have
We have all the climates.
Yeah.
Right? You want the Alps? We got the Alps.
Yep.
Like Rocky Mountains and stuff like that. You want desert? We got that.
Yep.
A couple different deserts. Just pick one. You want tropical rainforest? We definitely got that. You want a swamp? You want Great Plains? Anything you want, we got it.
What type of swamp do you want? Yeah.
You want one that's full of dangerous stuff or some dangerous stuff? It sort of depends. You want all the dangerous animals in the world? We got them all.
Yeah.
Except for platypus, which has venom.
Yes.
Yeah. So other than that, we pretty much got it all. And one thing we do have, and something we know about, is heat.
Humidity.
Oppressive heat.
Yes.
And it's not new. It's been here forever. We grew up in a place in Virginia Beach, super high humidity all the time. Not as high as Florida, which is further down towards the equator. We know heat. And so when we'd see things like there's a deadly heat wave coming into England, right? And you're like, it's not heat wave, that's just summer.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then they don't want to buy air conditioning. They don't want to do all the things necessary to abate the heat. And they were making fun of us saying, why do you have an air conditioner? It's like, because you don't know, man. You need it.
Yeah.
You need to get the humidity out of the air so you can drop the air temperature. Well, anyway, so World Cup 2026 FIFA, they're here in the U.S. They're doing matches, right? Football, soccer, whatever you want to call it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what are they complaining about?
The heat.
The heat's killing them.
Mm-hmm.
They're out there, got the misters going, and all of them look like drowned rats running around. And they got here early so they could try to acclimate to the weather, right?
Yeah.
And they're constantly, they're just like, this is, and it's been a thing. And I've been thinking to myself, they're going to need to be careful. Glad they're here early so they can get acclimated. But stop crying. This is what we deal with all the time.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Either you get with it or you don't.
The thing I find interesting is that these are top performing athletes that are having to adjust within a very short period of time. And if anybody is familiar with New Mexico knows, Olympic athletes travel to New Mexico to get used to A, the heat, and B, the elevation.
Yeah.
But they spend months there before, participating in events. And these people came here a few weeks early.
You know what?
Couple weeks
They
early.
are prime athletes. Most of them are in their prime. They are, specimens.
Yeah.
I would think they can get, more acclimated to the weather than a 55-year-old fat guy.
True.
Right? But either way, they're complaining and they're worried about it. Right? And we've got links and stuff like that. One player wrote a sternly, worded letter, to complaining, you guys need to do more to take care of the heat sort of thing. So I guess the entire point of all that is that, A, we told you. Mm-hmm. We have been telling you. The heat is no joke. Don't mess around. We're not just like, oh, we're America. We make everything bigger and more, whatever. We're boisterous. We're loud. We're everything that they say we are. We told you, bro. We told all of you. And we did it quietly. We're like, hey, man.
And it's also not our fault your coach booked a bunch of Airbnbs that don't have AC.
Well, they don't use it over there, right? They just complain in it because it doesn't get as hot as it does here.
We recommended AC.
And, the whole thing about, well, our houses are made to hold the heat in and it's not made to. So are ours, man. They act like we don't have winter.
Yeah.
We have Arctic conditions here. Come on down, right? We got it all, right? And it's just sort of one of those things where they are shocked at how hot it is and how oppressive it is. Now they really know. And so what are they doing about it? They're trying to do what they got to do. All right, it's fine, misters and all that stuff. But they act like, this is news. They're like, oh, man. And it must be news to them because what I've noticed about a lot of European countries is that, from a distance, they think they know everything about the U.S. based off what they see on TV news or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I got to be honest with them. If you get here and you spend some time here in the USA, it is completely different in a lot of ways than what you actually see on television.
But I kind of feel
No. Because there are people here, real Europeans, like Freddie from Germany, who's been coming in here and documenting his experience, like on Twitter, X, or whatever. People are enjoying that are leaving with their preconceptions that have turned into misconceptions and saying, you know what, things aren't as crazy as what we've seen on TV, on the news. Because what do you see on the news? You see the worst of everything. It's not, it used to be sort of a balance, right? You'd have like terrible stuff and then you throw in a couple of good things. And I'm glad to see that sort of thing happening because America is a great place. I've been all over the world and I've compared it. And it's like, this is a good place to be.
It is. And I think that's a global observation, though. We all have stereotypes, typically negative, of certain places. Lately, it's been America. Everybody has a stereotype of not just American culture, but America in general, the landscape. And I'm glad there's people like Freddie from Germany and the Joshes from the UK who are on like TikTok and Twitter.
Yeah,
and all,
I don't think they're both named Josh.
I thought they were.
One is Josh and the other one is
I can't
Jason
remember.
or Jace or something like that.
But it's like,
Call them the
I
Joshes.
don't know. But, they take an opportunity to actually go beyond the surface layer or the stereotype and go.
I'll tell you what, these FIFA players, World Cup players, they're going to leave with two things. An appreciation of air conditioning. Seriously.
Yeah.
And about 10 extra pounds. because everybody that comes from Europe, they eat the food and they're like, oh, and they they get it. They're like, especially from England, right? It's so flavorful. And we're like, dude, you're eating at Wendy's. You know what I mean? It's not the most flavorful thing out there. And I get it. You know, I spent my time in England and there was a lot of bland things, you know, like vinegar was super spicy.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. So, but it kind of is what it is when it comes to, you know, preconceptions and notions. You really got to go to another place and experience it so that you can go, okay, what I've seen and been exposed to through media is probably not exactly the way it is, because everything is sensationalized for a lot of things. But there's going to be heat issues with players running around all crazy. And what I don't think people, probably what a lot of people don't get, maybe it's just me, but in soccer or football, a lot of running.
A lot of.
That's all you do is run.
It's perpetual cardio.
I did it for a season. I did not like it because, you know what? Ran all the time.
Yeah.
And it was wintertime. And we could wear shorts.
You needed them.
No.
Even in the wintertime.
No, shorts. That's it. You couldn't wear anything underneath them. You couldn't wear, like, whatever you'd wear underneath shorts to keep your legs warm. Okay. You had to have basically the jersey, right? They don't call them jerseys, whatever they call it. But you had to have the jersey, the shorts, and shin guards.
Okay.
Well, and cleats, too. But you couldn't wear anything underneath your jersey. You couldn't wear anything under your shorts. That's it. In the wintertime, man, and it was freaking cold.
Your kit.
Well, that's the whole ensemble. That's your whole outfit.
No,
that's your soccer outfit.
Okay.
Right. Anyway, so it's like, Yes, it's very, very exciting.
Yeah.
And I will say this: we're not helping. Our news outlets are not helping the heat thing because they are showing these heat maps of the U.S. Right. Dangerous heat. And I looked at a bunch of them, and it's not dangerous heat. It's regular heat.
That's normal Arizona, everybody.
No, it's normal U.S. This is summertime.
Yeah.
So it's not like, and like dangerous heat, 80 degrees. And I'm like, that's not. That's just what it is. They haven't even got to like August where you get the real heat. So why is it dangerous now? It's only dangerous now because we have people that come from Europe who aren't aware of what real heat is. Well, you got a taste of it here in the U.S.
Yeah.
This is nothing. If they would have did this in August, they'd be trying to play inside.
Oh, yeah.
If there's air conditioning. And they would be like, oh, we couldn't even play outside. You know, it'd be something to complain about. And so, you know, here's the thing. So what they've done to combat the heat with this whole FIFA World Cup 2026 thing is they've moved a bunch of the games to prime time, like nighttime games. So there's like 22 matches that are going to occur between 8 and 10 local time, right? And then they're going to have late afternoon or twilight games, which is like over 30 of those matches from like 5:30 to 7 p.m. And then the second halves will kind of the game, you know, second half of the match will sort of transition into the night. Can sort of keep things cool. So they're calling it to combat the extreme North American summer heat, which it's not. We're just barely in summer.
Yeah.
It's not even July yet. It's still June.
I know.
We just barely came out of spring.
I just got done with a festival this weekend, and I should not have been outside from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Yeah, because it was humidity. It was like 80-something.
It was
and you had shade and cover.
94 degrees.
Okay.
But it was 91% humidity.
Yeah. The air was sweaty. Sweaty air.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's, you know, we got a dangerous heat wave. It's like, no, this is summer.
No, this is a regular heat wave.
This is summer.
Yeah.
Like, what do you call that? I call that Tuesday, right? It's summer.
Pretty much.
So, and as I was going through looking at some of the, you know, comments and things on different things with FIFA and other stuff we're going to talk about, I came across a couple things that I've noticed that anger me, aggravate me. And it happens a lot. And I think I'm seeing it more because I sort of honed in on it. It's whenever, and I've noticed this primarily because I've been looking at a lot of the, you know, UFO stuff that's out there with whistleblowers and all that. And we don't really talk about them because it's I'm to the point where just show me or stop, you know, quit. Just show me what you got, right? Show me whatever you're going to. But anyway, as most people do, you look at the whatever video clip you're watching, then you go to the comments to see if maybe you can get some better information, maybe more expansion on the short video clip that you watched.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing the same sort of comments happen everywhere. And all of a sudden, there's in any video, it seems, where humans may be either having an incredible event happen or something, life-changing or altering, for the betterment of humankind. I have noticed I've been seeing a lot of the same comments.
Okay.
And I found that there's two types of comments that really aggravate me the most. But the second one is the one that I've seen for every human event, like Artemis mission and stuff like that. We went to the moon again, right?
Yeah.
You'll see comments sort of like, all we want is a livable wage, affordable health care, and housing. And I don't care. I can't pay my rent. And my gas is $8. And it's like, we're going to the moon. And I hate that. Because what you do, yes, we understand. Everybody has problems and trials and tribulations and all that stuff. But when there's like 75 comments of people just latching on, so you take, an event where humankind should be happy or proud, look what we've done, and then you start dumping all that in there, it sort of taints it. So, I can't be happy about something because I got to worry about everybody else and worry about my own situation. And it's like, why? Why do we do that? And I think a lot of them, because I'm seeing the same comments worded over and over again, I think a lot of it's bots.
So there's two different studies. One is on Reddit, and it's been discounted, but I am not one to discount it. But the recent one on Reddit from last year suggests up to 50 to 70% of traffic on significant FB ads that alert you of a new thing, or FB news video segments.
Facebook.
Yeah. News segments. So Facebook traffic that relates to a news segment or an educational/instructional ad, an ad that's informing you of something big. Up to 70% of the comment traffic is bots. Now, take that with a grain of salt, because the most recent thing says that it's 30%, according to this group called Brit Researchers, I think. Yeah, digital distortion, how bots are deepening America's divide. It's a whole research thing where it's the same comments by profiles where if you dig deep enough, they're not robust profiles.
You mean you're coming from a warehouse with 1,000 cell phones?
Yeah, type thing. So Instagram has an estimated 95 million fake accounts to add to this engagement, which roughly means 10% of the commentary and interactions on Instagram on news-related or instructional type content is fake.
Well,
yeah.
It's aggravating.
It is aggravating, but it's
off-putting.
winning, because if it's aggravating you enough, you're going to feel compelled to interact or engage longer on that post.
Well, joke's on them. I don't.
You stared at that post longer.
I read fast. I can scroll with the best of them as I'm moving through them. Yeah, because once I start... Look, see, now I have to explain it. It's a joke amongst me and my wife that I can't read. I read very well. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, that's the end of the podcast. We're done. I would like to read some more, but it will take me a long time. Words are tough, especially the long ones, right?
It's okay.
Yeah, thank you. So anyway, it also, when you get a post where it's like, it bugs me, right?
Yeah, or it blames like political
or
figures.
hey, there's some new technology that may better the world.
Yeah.
We could spend $8 billion on this, but we can't feed everybody in the world. It's like, we have a budget, bro. The whole world's not in it.
Those ones do bother me. The ones I am not bothered with are the ones where they go and attack like billionaires. Like a billionaire spent $50 million on a wedding. $50 million would feed, X amount of Americans. I kind of feel them on that one, you
well,
know?
I don't, because it's not my place to think that I can just claim somebody else's wealth, where it's generational, familial, whatever. I don't have a claim to it just because they have more than me. Because, and here's where I probably might make some people mad. You have an opportunity in a place. There's very few constraints that would actually keep you from being able to try to achieve your own sort of wealth. Because, I mean, there are places in other countries where you can't own a business. There's a bunch of things where you actually have real restrictions. You can't do these things. Mm-hmm. Here, you can kind of do whatever you want. Now, how you get there, that's on you, right? And researching what you need to be able to get a business license or get a business or finding money or whatever it takes to do whatever you want to do, that's kind of on you.
Okay.
So if you don't put forth the effort, you're going to miss out because you kind of have to work for it a little bit.
Yes, and that's understood.
Now, with the internet and kids being smart the way they are, I mean, you can sit down and research, how do I start a business? And just use the business as an example. It's the same thing with like home buying too. There's so many programs to help people be able to afford housing, like to buy your own, and so many different types of financing options that people just I don't think that they know that there's so many out there.
Okay, so
you can do some research and start looking into some of these things. The answer is there. Now, you may not be in a position necessarily to get to it, but over time you could.
Possibly.
I mean, you say possibly.
Access to information and access to resources is there. However, even today, like starting right now, a person who ticks all those boxes and does the extra work and does everything to have a business, they will never, ever be in the same position as like Jeff Bezos. Never. Right now, they're
okay. It's all a problem of scale.
Mm-hmm.
So Bezos did what Bezos did, right? You also have regular families where somebody has achieved a smaller level of success that can turn around and will pass down their wealth to their family.
Yeah.
Through things like irrevocable trust or whatever.
Okay.
It's all a problem of scale. But at the end of the day, I don't think just because you have more money than me that I am owed money from you.
I would say.
And these same billionaires, as much as we don't like them, because some of them are just assholes. I mean, legit.
Yeah.
They also provide infrastructure and things that you need if you wanted to go work for them. They provide all the materials necessary for you to complete a job or a task from them. And people forget every time you say, yes, I will work for you, it's a contract.
Yeah.
The company says, I will pay you this much in exchange for this, and you agree to it. Now, it is a contract. It goes both ways. If they're trying to bleed you to death and work you to death, you got your contract where it has your job description. You can say, well, hey, here's the deal. I agreed to provide you this service with these knowledge, skills, and abilities for this much money. Anything way more than that, that should be a contract renegotiation. And a lot of times it doesn't happen and some people get fired. Well, you can go to the Employment Commission. There's always a thing.
I think the scale and the opportunity is being lessened or tightened for the average person. So the person who builds a business and hopes to pass it on through either a trust or other means has less advantages than the Vanderbilts passing something on.
Well, of course.
But the scale in which the capacity to pass those smaller businesses on and eventually become Vanderbilts, those opportunities are getting harder and harder because
yeah, but you can't say
we're being regulated.
It's like I said, it's a problem with scale. And my scale, I will never be able to reach Vanderbilt level, steel baron, whatever, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to compare myself to them, and I wouldn't set that goal to be so high. And so you can't compare me to Vanderbilt either. So let's make it where it's more realistic. Like, I could probably become as wealthy as a car dealership owner or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that, automatically jump into, well, they make this much money, and they pay more taxes, they have more expenses, but they also use all the laws and rules that are in place that fit their situation just like you can.
And it's still very tough.
Now, of course it's very tough,
we have
but
car
if you
dealerships.
want it, you got to go get it.
We have car dealerships, we have family-owned restaurants, we have smaller mid-scale businesses closing every day.
Of course.
So,
whose fault is that?
Everybody's.
It's not everybody's fault.
Okay.
It's not.
Okay.
because you can create a business. Look at all the people that got college degrees in fields that don't pay any money.
Yeah.
They're shocked when they can't use their degree that doesn't pay any money. So if you pick something that's not going to be financially viable, you've kind of already sort of set yourself up to whatever. I watched this little video clip with these kids. It was a local thing, right? Talking about where they're going to go when they graduate school. There was a lot of nice colleges and universities in there. And one guy says, I'm whatever his name was, I can't remember. I'm going to go be a travel welder.
That's good money.
And then the voiceover said, oh, technical school. Like it was a bad thing. He got people going to UNC and Charlotte and all these places, right? That travel welder, the kid looked like he was 16.
Yeah.
If he spends 5 years doing that, he will make more money than all those kids that are still in school.
True.
I mean, because he'll be able to sit down and say, okay, with this level of skill welding that I have, I'm going to make $95, $100 an hour. Yeah. And he will be busy for
right out
years.
the gate.
Yeah.
And
for years.
No significantly substantial debt.
No.
Yeah.
No, he won't.
Yeah.
And it's like, so it's kind of like,
yeah.
And everything is stacked against you, but everything is stacked against everybody. Like the Heat is totally stacked against the FIFA players, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, kind of moving back into all of this sort of thing, right? You know what else has been stacked against people for a long time? Peanut allergies.
Peanut allergies.
Right.
Okay.
Allergies in general. We talked about this the other day, and I just thought this was, a thing. Childhood allergies. So I'm in my 50s, and I remember in school that if a child had an allergy, the teacher nicely and politely would just basically out your medical record in front of the entire class, right?
Yeah.
This is so-and-so. He's allergic to peanuts.
Yeah.
Don't give him any peanuts. And everybody would look at him like, whoa,
He's from Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like 2 or 3 times. This is so-and-so. This person has diabetes.
Yeah.
Don't give them any cookies, right? And you got the kids sitting there and being all defective, but that's the way it was, and they put it out there. Because that's the way the class looked at this kid, like they're defective. Right? I'm not saying they are. This is the 70s, man.
In the 80s.
And the 80s, but here's the deal. You didn't have as many people allergic to everything like there is today. You can't even get peanuts on a plane for 2 reasons. Somebody's allergic, in quotes, but they just don't want to pay for it. If they don't have to pass out peanuts. Yeah. I mean, people used to dress up to fly.
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore. And why should they? Because you're so cramped in like cattle. A lot of people are just flying in pajamas. Because there is no dignity in flying anymore.
Yeah.
There's no seat space. They're even talking about, wow, man.
TSAs think
they're like, hey, no, there's one airline, I can't think of who they are, because I angrily scrolled right on past them. They're trying to figure out how for short commuter flights under 90 minutes, you could just stand the whole time. They have like this seat thing, right? You strapped into it, but you're standing the whole time.
You mean
and
like the bus?
Yeah. But, you put on the little harness or whatever, like a little fake seat or whatever. And my first thought was, me and you sat in an airport on the runway at Dallas for 2 hours and 45 minutes just waiting for a storm to pass.
Yeah.
So, and the flight that we were going to take from here to there was only like 45 minutes after that. So I would be standing for 3.5 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Because they don't want to let you off and they don't want to divert you. So the whole idea of, it'd be great, man. You can just, it's only a 90-minute flight. Flights are never.
Yeah.
So.
But back to allergies.
Right. When I was growing up, I remember my parents taking the food that we were eating and giving my brother little samples. Because all kids eventually start begging for food because they're tired of the, baby food.
Gerber smushed peas. Whatever.
Right. But I mean, that's what you kind of did. And would you like a little piece of, you want a little bit of scrambled egg? You want a little bit of, you want a tiny little bit of creamy peanut butter, Yeah. And that's what you did.
Yeah.
Little morsels, little tastes. Right. And then over time, when they're old enough to gnaw on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or whatever, and you did it with honey, but honey was past a certain age because that's a real allergy.
Yeah. Right? It's the amount of botulism that's in it.
I don't know about that, but but honey was a thing where anaphylaxis was a thing, right?
Yeah.
There's been a recent study that says, and this is, I'm like, I thought everybody knew this, but I guess not. Childhood egg allergies fall as early. Introduction becomes more common. A new study. How is this a new study?
Because we had a group of millennial era parents and Gen Z parents who reversed the way in which humans deal with food allergies. Like, their version of introduction was so long that it actually hindered people's ability to develop their histamine response. So you had kids out there who had never had egg or tree nut until they were like in elementary school. And then shockingly, they're having like a histamine response in kindergarten. Or you had parents, millennial and Gen Z, who allegedly were lactose intolerant or allegedly allergic to this vegetable or that. So they never had
gluten.
Yeah, or they never had it in their household.
Right.
So the first time their kid experiences it is in school, and their kid suddenly has an adverse reaction to it. And it's one of those things where I'm quick to blame my generation and Gen Z for it. That our decisions on that are our fault. So.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And, you know, one of the things that you were supposed to do was expose your child to foods.
Younger.
Well, I mean, but see, it's always been there, and it's always been an innate thing where you don't know if your kids are allergic or whatever. You don't just randomly give them a hunk of pepperoni and say, there you go, eating pizza or whatever.
Yeah. It
was always little things, and you were taught in classes like home economics and stuff back in the early days, if you ever had kids, and you know, these are the things you should do. Mm-hmm. And a lot of information was passed down generationally. And my generation, this is what you did.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like, and we also didn't pay attention to like the news and television and stuff telling us that everything was bad. We did to a certain degree. That's why margarine, which might as well be made out of motor oil, is better than butter.
And when you introduce them at that younger age, it was easier to manage that allergic reaction.
Well, yeah.
You know? So, like in my case, we found out very early I was allergic to mango, which was really tough because I went to a little bit of elementary school in Hawaii. So I was the kid with the bright yellow sticker and it said mango in English and Tagalog.
Yeah. So you were the defective mango kid.
Yeah. And everybody's like,
well, it's like my brother.
You
We
know?
thought there was my parents thought that he was allergic to tomatoes.
Yeah.
Come to find out he was actually allergic to penicillin.
Oh, okay.
So it took a while to figure that out.
Yeah.
But was he allergic to anything else? Peanut butter? No. None of that stuff because, you know, parents are like, hey, you know, here you go.
Well, they thought.
But they act like this study is a shockingly new thing. It's like this is what we should have been doing or supposed to have been doing for millions of years. And all of a sudden, there's a brand new study that says if you give a kid a little bit of eggs over time, they're not allergic to it.
Yeah.
If you give kids citrus over time, they're not allergic to it. If you give them a little creamy peanut butter over time, they're not allergic to it. Right? What they're not saying is that what happens when you get older and you get a vaccine or two and all of a sudden you're allergic to shellfish, latex, peanuts.
A spinal tap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because of the amount of copper in it.
It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, the whole cracking the allergy puzzle, I read this thing and it's like, I don't even want to talk about it because they're basically saying you got to introduce them real slow.
Part of this.
If you're really worried about it, you can go to the doctor's office and introduce maybe a little bit of peanut butter with them in the doctor's office just in case you have a reaction.
But see, you're Gen X, and you learn this from your parents.
And in school.
Yeah. Home ec changed in the late 80s, mid-90s.
Home ec basically doesn't even hardly exist anymore,
Yeah,
does
it does. It's been renamed a couple of things, but it's still essentially the same. But it's more focused on getting the baby out. Like, you know, this is what to expect when you're expecting. And doesn't really cover like the domesticities.
Well,
And a lot of millennials and Gen Z don't talk to their parents, so they have no idea if their grandpa was allergic to peanuts or if their aunt was allergic to tomatoes, you know, that type
I think
of thing.
this whole thing, I was not.
Yeah.
I didn't understand why this was new. Because it's not new.
Yeah.
Instead of putting peanut, they put egg.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay. So I guess what I'm saying is that if you have children, you might want to look into how to introduce your kid to food instead of relying on what you see everywhere.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's very helpful. Because now they're saying, well, you know what, butter's not so bad. And used to be you got you could get beef tallow and stuff like that, which is all the rage. It used to be commonplace back then. There was all sorts like snow cap, like lard.
Yeah.
Don't eat lard, it's bad. Well, maybe it's not quite so bad. Lard's still gross. And then it's like, oh, you don't want to use like actual lard. Use this vegetable oil that's congealed, made from like tractor grease and stuff like that. That's better for you. So we got to toughen our kids up, I guess.
Okay.
You know what? Got to introduce that stuff early. Got to toughen them up a little bit. Your face is swelling. You'll be all right.
Here's a robot for it.
Yeah, and here I am, 55 years old, and then turn around and I got like 3 EpiPens now, just in case. Because I have an allergist. She was like, hey, how many EpiPens do you have? And I'm like, EpiPens? I don't have no EpiPens. She's like, what do you do when you eat shellfish? I'm like, well, if it's real shellfish and my throat gets a little itchy and starts to close, I go buy a Benadryl from CVS or from Walgreens. She's like, that's not acceptable.
Really?
And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, well, what if it's really bad? I'm like, well, somebody's got a pen. You just jam it in the old neck there. She's like, absolutely not. I said, so what am I supposed to do? I'd keep this thing in the refrigerator? She said, no, you need to carry it with you everywhere you go. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I have enough everyday carry. I'm not adding a big giant EpiPen to it.
That would be a great Reddit post.
Oh, I've already seen it. One guy had he took a cigar tube because he cut down his EpiPen somehow and stuck it in a crazy metal cigar tube. It has like crazy steampunk looking stuff over, just in case I get stung by a bee. I'm like, right.
Okay.
Because she did ask me when's the last time you got stung by like a hornet or something. I don't know. It's been years. And she's like, you need an EpiPen.
Yeah.
Guess what? Here's 3. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So I guess eggs earlier, fewer allergies is the overall sort of impact to it. And I know that's not like paranormal and weird news, but I thought it was weird. I mean, it's like, what, parents aren't doing that? I mean, you can't give like, a baby a French fry. I mean, when they get a little older, you can, and you'll wind up having these little hollowed out. It's like, I didn't even know French fries had anything in the middle of them, right? I had like deflated, like petrified French fries all in the car. I'm like, what is, how do you suck this inside of a French fry out? Kids know. It's a thing. I just thought that was kind of weird news.
Yeah.
So, all right. So to make this talking about allergies and bring it kind of back on track a little bit, let's talk about this human skull that was donated to a Florida thrift store.
Why does Florida get
the
all the
reason
cool
why I'm bringing
stuff?
this up is we've talked about this no separately than 3 different occasions, but different human remains being donated to thrift stores.
Yeah.
Well, this one's the latest, and it's Florida. So the authorities are hoping to get to the bottom of a macabre mystery after a human skull was donated to a church thrift store. Yeah. Here's the reason why I put this in here after I read that. What if somebody's like, I know how we can get rid of the body. There are 400 thrift stores in these 5 states. If we just donate a piece to each one, they'll never know. And while we're there, let's look for some tchotchkes. You got to be efficient. Gas is expensive, right? You might as well they say to keep your expenses low, you don't just take like trips to one place. You sort of spitball them all together, right? Plan out your route so you use less fuel. So let's just donate. How many bones are in the human body? Like 500 and something, or is it 200? Is it 256? 512? 1024? 1028? Is it RAM? Is it memory? Is it?
Did you say we have 1,028 bones?
Well, I said 512 before that.
Okay, or 512, because you equivalated bones to RAM.
Well, yeah, it should have been 1024.
1024. Okay.
Yeah.
2048?
2048?
You want to try less?
Less?
Yes.
256.
You're close.
257.
206.
That's it?
Yes.
People are lacking.
Babies have around 300.
Well, where do they go?
They fuse together because you have to count parts of the human skull. And
Gross.
babies have those teeth up in theirs. So,
What, wisdom teeth?
yeah. Yep.
They got floating bone syndrome. That's why they're all floppy.
Well, my whole thing about this human skull in the thrift shop thing and your idea of going around the country and dropping off a part, that was already a part of an investigation that was ongoing, I think,
Wait, so that's already happened?
last year. Yes. So there was this dude who had a very popular Instagram and would show up at the Oddities and Curiosities expos that happened on the East Coast and sell things. And he said that they were ethically obtained. They were not.
I mean, how do you... All right.
Yeah. Not only were they not, but he was eventually arrested with like pretty much the equivalent of at least 12 full human remains and parts of dozens.
That sounds like somebody's found an old abandoned cemetery. They're like, do you know what kind of land mine? We got a gold mine here. So the Jericho Ministries thrift store in Brooksville, Florida, were the ones that had received the skull. So the Hernando County Sheriff's Office, they got on social media and were like, hey, we're seeking the public's assistance with a weird matter. And they said, hey, that somebody dropped off what may have been believed to a novelty skull at the Jericho Ministries thrift store. However, upon closer examination, it was determined that the cranium was genuine human remains.
Oh, wow.
And so the cops are trying to give the donor a benefit of the doubt, but they still kind of want to figure out, where this piece of the cranium came from. So was it like 80% fake and then a little piece of real cranium in there? And where did they get this off Temu or AliExpress or something like that?
Or the Oddities and...
because like some jewelry you get will, like a little clasp will say like, genuine, it'll say like 925 or whatever, but the rest of the necklace or bracelet's trash, but the clasp is really silver.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, it's real silver.
Because there's been
real gold.
Multiple investigations, including the former Harvard morgue manager last year was sentenced. Him and his wife were sentenced for the interstate transport of human remains and trafficking.
They get pulled over and they got like a phalange in the glove box?
No, they were full on shipping and selling because, Harvard and one other big college, you can actually donate your remains. Like you can put in your will, I'd like to donate my body to Harvard School of Science. And they have a very wonderful process where they use your body for dissection in science. They cremate it free of charge.
Look, you're not selling me on it. You're not doing that.
But, they send it back to your family members. Well, for the past few years, that's not been happening. Yeah. And
there's the new conspiracy. It's not new, but it's becoming more popular where they're like, there's a medical person, right? You don't really know if they are. And they're like, I would never be an organ donor. And you're like, well, why not? Because the theory is some places where you could survive, they're just not letting you survive or not doing what is necessary for you to survive.
Yeah.
Because you're marked as an organ donor.
Yeah.
And I've seen it in a couple comedy sitcoms. Like, I don't want to say Scrubs because it wasn't Scrubs, but where the dude's obviously alive answering questions. Like, and his wife was trying to get the money from all this stuff. So when he died or whatever, she got all the money and she was like, and he's an organ donor. So if we could just go ahead and take this, he's like, I'm right here. Because she had power of attorney. She's like, what button do I press? And she's going in. Oh, gosh. I wish I could remember what it was. It was pretty funny. He's like, what are you doing? I'm right here. Awesome. So there you go. Let's get into some sci-fi news.
Yeah.
It's a section I just added because in the podcast, everything we talk about in the show notes that's available on CreepGeeks.com, you can click the link. And this has affected me personally. Right? I'm sitting around. Here's what we do. We like to watch things in succession.
Yeah.
They used to call it binging. I don't know what they call it now. I think now they just call it streaming. And so we'll watch shows and stuff like that. And if you're ever bored, you can run like Law and Order for a year straight and never see the same thing. I mean, you literally can, right?
Yeah.
Because, shows aren't as long as they were. I mean, it used to be season 1. You look back at some of the older shows, season 1 would have like 26 episodes. Mm-hmm. Now you have season 1, 6 episodes.
Yeah.
It's like, how are you getting off, or 16 if it's like on prime time? You only got 16 episodes. Like, wait a minute. 2 years ago, I was getting 26 episodes. And we all know that, over time, the shows that you like to watch, well, they eventually disappear for a while and they come back with the next season.
Yeah.
So one of the shows that I liked watching for a long time was Stargate. And Stargate is also a secret program.
Okay.
I think it's more towards remote viewing and stuff like that, right? I might be wrong, but Stargate was interesting because they tied in a whole bunch of stuff, and it was basically kind of like the A-Team. I'm probably going to make people mad if they like Stargate. Kind of like the A-Team of sci-fi. You had MacGyver in it, you know what I mean? And you had some stuff, and it was kind of like, and it was also some of the episodes, written by, his name went right out of my head. Anyway, written by this guy.
Joseph Malozzi.
No.
Okay.
He did like Battlestar Galactica. He's the man. Star Trek, all this stuff. It's going to be
Roland Emmerich?
No. Wow, man. I can't believe it went right out of my gourd. Is it Donald Lawson? Ronald Lawson? Anyway. So there's some good episodes, and you had character development and building over time. You could see the rapport develop. So you had these shows, these serial-based shows where they just kept going, whether it was one episode could stand on its own or tying into other episodes. Ronald D. Moore. Battlestar Galactica, Star Trek. Anyway, this dude's the man. All the shows I like, he seems to be a part of. Ronald Moore. So it came to pass that allegedly Stargate, the property, the series, the franchise, was bought by Amazon Prime. And they were like, we're going to get the old writers in there. We are going to bring Stargate back. And there was joy in the sci-fi world. Oh, that's cool. Bring Stargate back. Because Stargate, you had multiple Stargate shows. What?
He didn't write for Stargate.
Yeah, he did. He was part of it. Anyway, he just amused the movie. But, so you made me lose my train of thought. Because you're trying to be like, I don't like Stargate, so I'm going to blast him on it. Which is unsatisfying.
He did write for All Mankind.
You didn't give me a chance to finish that too, because I was going to say, I was going to finish this whole little talking segment where if you want shows to watch that are good, that maybe you'd never consider, For All Mankind is in there.
Yeah.
That's an excellent show, believe it or not. And it's filmed wonderfully. So cinematically, it's good. Battlestar Galactica, the second series, not the original show. The original show was Cheeseball because it was the 80s. But anyway. Did you do Firefly?
No.
Expanse. I think he was part of the Expanse.
No.
That's an excellent show if you haven't watched that. Anyway, they looked like they were going to bring Stargate back, and they were like, heck yeah, we're going to do it. And then allegedly now it's not happening. And originally they were going to have some of the original writers and thinking people that brought it all together for the first couple series, because you had Stargate Atlantis, you had Stargate SG-1, you had basically a couple different Stargate type shows and movies, right? And they evidently, a new executive is like, well, we don't want to do that. We want to reach a broader audience. So a new executive goes to Amazon and is like, we want to reach a broader audience. Guaranteed to kill a show.
Yeah.
Guaranteed to make a show that's been kept alive and loved by the fans, to alienate those fans, to try to bring in a newer audience. And I was thinking, that's stupid. This is what kills good shows. And we've all seen it. It also kills good movies. Where you already had some level of success with a series of movies, and then you bring somebody in, it's like, we want to reach a broader audience, and they make a show or a movie that's garbage, that nobody seems to like. And then when the fans say, we don't like this because it's not good, They blame the people. They blame the fans.
Yeah.
And I can give you sort of an equivalent to this. Now, think about this. A new person shows up to a cell phone company and they start a new contract and they become a new customer. They get the amazing deals. You, a long-term user, right, customer of that company, you keep sticking around, you get garbage. You don't get the good deals. And there's no better place to look at this than look at your automobile insurance.
True.
You know, because they don't look at it as being, they're valued. A long-term customer should get amazing discounts. They look at it as being that you are rate tolerant. You know what that means? That means that you have been around long enough that you will keep accepting increases in your insurance premiums and keep paying them. So you can tolerate the higher rates. It's insidious. So yeah, you're the new guy. You show up to an insurance company and your premiums are super low and the bill's great. And you're like, wow, this is great, Progressive. Next year, your rate goes up. Next year, after that, your rate goes up. It keeps going up. What people don't tell you is that if you join an insurance and you get that wonderful rate and everything, and then you get your renewal, and your renewal is way higher than it was or it's going to be for no apparent reason whatsoever, why not run a quote with another insurance company and get the new guy rate for them too? Because people, for some reason, have loyalty to insurance companies. And why should you? There's no reason to do it. I'll tell you what I used to do. I had Progressive for a long time, right? I would get my little rate. Everything was cool. Got the new guy discount. When it came time to renew, I would compare, again, running a new quote on the internet. I would run the quote and find the new guy rate was better than my renewal rate. So I would go ahead and start the new insurance policy at a much lower rate and then cancel my other policy. So for many years, I got the new guy policy, the new guy rate. This is what's happening with the Stargate show.
Are you saying we should do the same thing with Amazon Prime or?
Amazon Prime is basically every year they're proving to me why they're not worth having anymore.
Okay.
Because there's a couple different shows that are worth watching if you're going to watch Amazon Prime, if you like sci-fi. The Expanse is there. Stream the whole thing. It's a great show, right?
I'm surprised he hasn't written for Expanse.
I thought he did. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else.
The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Roswell, Carnival, Battlestar Galactica, Touching Evil, Battlestar Galactica, Virtuality, Caprica, Outlander, Helix, Electric Dreams, For All Mankind, Outlander, Blood of My Blood, Star City, which is going to be following For All Mankind.
It's available. I'm saving it.
Yeah. And God of War, which is currently filming.
Yes. Okay, so he's done a lot. He's done some of my favorite shows.
Yeah. So
he's the man.
Yeah. And he had a little part on Portlandia. So, yeah.
I like him even better now. So anyway, they're canceling the show.
Yeah.
They said they were going to do it. Now they're not going to do it. The fans aren't letting this go. So the fans are kind of doing the same thing that those bots are doing in the comments that I don't like, where they keep saying, well, yeah, that's great, but I can't afford gasoline, right? So Amazon is on, they're putting out, hey, check out these new shows, little, the ads that you put on Amazon, right?
Yeah.
That are on like Twitter and things like that. They're little social posts. And the comments are lighting them up. Stargate. This would be great unless, we need more Stargate. I don't, and they're just hammering them in the comments. And you got stars from the show who were like, no.
Yeah.
And you got the writers that were going to be rewriting for Stargate. They're calling it Stargate 4. Stargate 4 are like, no. You can't say that you want to reach a broader audience, then cancel it because you think you're not going to reach a broader. They were writing this to reach a broader audience and to include the fans who basically like the show. The bones of the show is the fans. You can't and I guess they don't ever consider that there are people that watch the show and they drag their family members into it, and eventually their family members get on board too.
A good example.
As you will with Stargate.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time before you start to like Stargate.
Star Trek is where I'm getting dragged into other seasons. I never bothered with Voyager, and now I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Deep Space Nine, I'm still a little on the fence towards the latter seasons. I'm not sure about that. But Voyager,
arguably Deep Space Nine is one of the best series you could watch.
Really?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm having a hard time with the last few seasons.
Well, 2 or 3 seasons in, they sort of switched focus and it became way better. A lot of people say it wasn't the same. It became crap after the third. It's like, all you guys are wrong.
Okay.
It got better because it sort of became better, put more action in it. They didn't, whatever,
Okay.
right? They started making it, because it was kind of boring before. And I will say, if you ever watched Deep Space Nine, if you look at it and watch it visibly, it is a darker show.
Yeah.
And it's dark on purpose. And a lot of people hated that because it was too dark.
Huh.
Next Generation and even the original series, everything's bright and colorful and all that stuff. Deep Space Nine was supposed to be dark. That's why it was filmed physically darker.
Which is funny because some of my favorite sci-fi novels take place in authentic space station type situations.
Sure.
They're not wonderful. It's recycled air. It's darker, artificial lighting.
Well, Expanse is a good example of that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it sort of bugs me. I was going to go on this long rant about it, but I'm not going to. But. So Star Trek has run into sort of the same issue.
Yeah.
They were like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring a new showrunner. We're going to delete everything that happened that people don't like. And we're going to bring the series back. We're going to start fresh.
Okay.
Now they're about to commit the huge mistake. They're going to take away the TV series and just do movies. There's the reason why people like Star Trek and went to go see Star Trek in the movies, because there was a series that you could watch, character building, rapport, the whole thing, and then go see a movie. The movies were secondary. The movies were a vehicle to make money. You watch the series.
Yeah.
You watch the series because you could see it every week and you could grow with it and you can enjoy it.
True.
Now they're like, all right, we're not going to do any of that stuff. We're just going to put movies out.
Why?
Because they're dumb and they keep thinking that if they reach a broader audience and they add all the issues and stuff in that people don't necessarily care about when they're trying to see a movie or a show, right? With all the social underpinnings where they just like, I just want a good story with the characters that I like.
Yeah.
But they think they're going to put these movies out and everybody's going to flock to them.
No.
Instead of watching the series. And it's like, why would I even want to go?
You're tanking this whole franchise.
Yeah, well, Mark, you think they would learn because of Star Wars has gone that way. It's been not so good. Right? Marvel movies, same thing. DC movies, they're all garbage. It's like they're pushing out these garbage movies at these huge budgets that people aren't going. And a big part of that is because people they're not interested, man.
They're not.
And it's like, can you imagine if you went and spent the money to go see
Starfleet Academy?
Yeah.
As a movie? No, I'd be...
The special effects were good. I liked the way it was filmed. But it's just like, I was more interested in the teachers and instructors and professors, the staff, interacting with each other to try to help to deal with the students. The focus should have been on the staff dealing with the students, not the students doing stupid kid things.
So,
I mean, there's enough like Degrassi High and whatever. I can't even think of any.
Abbott Elementary.
Abbott Elementary. I mean, what?
But Abbott Elementary is from the perspective of the instructors.
It bugged me. I couldn't stand the way she sat in the chair. It's disrespectful. You have all these kids and lives in your hands. You are the captain of a vessel. Anything that happens on that vessel, you are ultimately responsible for. You should give that chair the respect it deserves.
There's a difference between celebrating neurodivergence and understanding that there is a level of conformity that applies to all of humanity.
Yes.
And I think there are some failures, like the chair.
Yes.
But then there's some triumphs, like the doctor hologram adopting a kid. I thought that was a good example of neurodivergence and practicing not assimilation, but learning and understanding differences in humanity. So I thought that was interesting. But overall, the series annoyed me. If it wasn't, I mean, on top of commentary from you, I found the series a little annoying. So, and I'm mad that Strange New Worlds is allegedly coming to an end. I don't think it should end. They've
Yeah,
made,
if you're going to pick a TV series, why don't you stick with that one? It seemed like that one's been better generally tolerated than any other ones that come out so far.
and I have made jokes that Lower Decks Star Trek is more canon than entire series of other Star Treks.
Yes, that's true.
I mean, it's full on canon. It applies to the established Star Trek universe.
And it's a cartoon, so it has a broader audience than people that don't know any better.
Yeah. So keep Strange New Worlds and bring back Lower Decks. That's my opinion. So,
But they might. Maybe they'll watch the whole Amazon debacle that's unfolding
they won't.
in reverse course. But no, they're not.
They'll be like, that sounds like we should adopt that method.
No, they won't. Because they got, they're just being silly with it. That's my rant. People are like, I thought this was a podcast about paranormal and strange news. Okay, so we're going to talk about two things. And then we're going to wrap the podcast up. We're going to talk about sentient plasmoids and then bees.
Okay.
Actually, no, I want to talk about drones.
Okay.
All right. So I sent this to you as a picture because the title, I thought it was funny, right? I'm sorry. And it just went around everywhere. I seen it on TikTok. It's on Futurism. It's, the title of this is what drew me in. Robot in clown wig, roundhouse kicks small child. And I'm like, what?
No, I sent this to you.
No.
Okay.
If you go back and check your TikTok, I sent it to you.
Oh, well, I sent it to you on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then I
Ooh.
shared it.
Yeah. And then I didn't check Facebook like you don't check TikTok.
Because I shared the article first, and then I was like, there's video.
Yeah, there's video.
And I tagged a few of my friends because
So
you talked about earlier with the egg allergy toughening kids up. What better way to tough them up than a clown costume robot roundhouse kicking them?
Yeah. So there's the video going around where you have what appears to be the Unitree G1 humanoid robot wearing a blue clown wig, which can be seen confidently executing a roundhouse kick squarely into the stomach of a small child in the audience.
Just like,
And this is worst of all, the kid did absolutely nothing wrong, just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. And it says, while you be forgiven for stifling a dark laugh, given the ridiculousness of the situation, the incident highlights lingering pain points when it comes to robot safety. As it turns out, powerful robots can run up walls, perform highly complex choreographies, deftly wield weapons, but they aren't exactly a perfect fit for a young child's birthday party. And this is part of the problem I have with robots. It doesn't seem like the constraints are put in place that Asimov came up with the rules. I just figured the rules would be, universally adopted, and they're not. They're not.
they're not at all.
In this video, he's got a wig on that makes him funny, and he's like going to do his little thing, little dancing, little choreography and stuff, and just blast this kid in the gut with a roundhouse kick.
Yeah. It's so sad.
I mean, the kid's fine, and it's kind of funny, but also it's kind of like this. I mean, how many? Once robots become more mainstream and don't cost quite so much money, the amount of human deaths, accidental or otherwise, is going to go up from human-robot interactions or robot-human interactions is going to be pretty high.
Yeah.
And they're going to keep it a secret.
Okay.
And, maybe 80 years from now, robots will be our buddies, our friends, our pals, or we've been subjugated into nothing, like Skynet and all that. It's happening, right? Combine AI, some robots. We're already there. They're going to try a RoboCop cybernetic situation. It's not going to work out so well.
Okay.
Yeah. So everything, all the sci-fi stuff that people think is just, this is sci-fi. Science fiction makes science fact. It's only time. Yeah. So people were kind of taken aback by this, and I like the one Reddit comment. So it begins. It's like, I've said that like 5 or 6 times on the podcast. Already breaking the first law.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, it's far from the first time we've seen humans get injured by a humanoid robot. Another Unitree G1 robot in China lost balance while performing in front of a crowd. After it hit the ground, it thrashed around all crazy and it hit a man in the nose, causing him to bleed. Have you ever seen these things fall over and they just start going crazy?
Was that the one that was dancing, like performing like a group dance?
Like slipped and started flopping around?
Yeah.
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 And it kind of reminds me of the way they flop around. If you ever watch Blade Runner, when he's putting down, I think he puts down Daryl Hannah, she flops around all crazy. It's the same thing. It's kind of scary, but anyway. Yeah. So while Unitree G1 humanoid robot is shorter and lighter than other robots, it can still pack a punch. It weighs about 70 pounds, and its joints can produce over 100 Newton meters of torque, meaning that just one of them can easily lift over 26 pounds. That kid probably didn't weigh 26 pounds.
No.
It's a good thing kids are flexible and they're pliable. But don't get me wrong. When the robots become less expensive, we're going to get a robot dog. What?
A Boston Electronics one?
No, I said less expensive.
Okay.
Ours is coming from China. It's probably, think about it.
It's probably going to kick children in the face.
It might kick you in the face. That's one of the things. You have to watch out for it, right? Don't let the batteries get low.
Are you going to apply the Temu discount before or after it goes in the cart?
No, I don't know. It depends how many times I have to watch the wheels spin and go through all the stupid carnival games that I absolutely despise.
Okay.
To try to save 17 cents or whatever it is, only to wait 3 weeks for shipping. And you just get on Amazon for $1 more. I don't know. It's like a thing. So that's one instance of a drone gone bad. That's a bad drone. Mm-hmm. That drone is kicking kids. That's bad.
Yeah.
Now, there has been an instance of a good drone activity type thing happen, and I thought we should put in here to counteract the robot and the clown wig. So, over in the Gulf, where was it? Over by, anyway, over in Iran area, there was a helicopter that was taken down by an Iranian drone.
Yep.
Like flew into it, or they ran into it. Whatever happened, the pilots went down. Guess what rescued them?
A drone?
A drone boat. They called it an unmanned surface vessel.
Okay.
And I knew we had drones, but I did not know that they had this kind of drone. And then when I seen it and looked at it, I'm like, oh, okay, I've seen that, but it wasn't for. They were like in the close to Oman, but so when it was U.S. Army Apache helicopters, what actually went down, and they were close to the Straits of Hormuz, and this drone boat went out and rescued them. So they were rescued within approximately 2 hours, and they were in stable condition. So that surface drone, which can go up to 40 miles an hour, was basically pointed and piloted to those guys. Go get them. And so this speedboat looking thing comes rolling up on them. It can hold over 1,000 pounds, and they just got up there and waited.
Yeah.
And that's the first time that's ever happened.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So our military, being the way they are, is going to turn that into something. Maybe you have some of these drone boats or vessels that can be tasked for that sort of thing.
Well, that's what Task Force 59 will include in their responsibilities, right?
So you could drop this speedboat looking thing. You don't have to, if you can get that in the water faster, you can pilot it to whoever's out there. This could be used in all sorts of situations.
Yep.
Because there was times when I was in the Navy, we were tasked to go get people because their vessel was going down. Or my favorite, they accidentally got hooked up to a mine.
Yeah.
Because they were in the wrong area with a fish net. And they happened to pick up a mine. So you could send that boat out to get people off. You don't have to get a bunch of people together and drop them over the side and do all that stuff that takes time. You just throw this thing in the water and roll out. That thing can go over 40 miles an hour, man. So those Army dudes, those Army pilots that were sitting there in the water, they didn't have long to wait. They were rescued within 2 hours.
Yep.
There's people that go over the side that are never seen again. I thought that was pretty cool. And that could be a use that can go into the regular civilian world too, man. You can have rescue drone boats. So if you're out there surfing or whatever, you can send a drone boat out and grab them and they can get pulled back in. So there's no need for Baywatch anymore. Yeah. So let's, do you want to talk about sentient plasmoids? Or do you want to talk about bees? Do you even know what a sentient plasmoid is?
Why did it open up? It did not open up anything about sentient plasmoids. I'm just assuming they're like stuff I read about in sci-fi books which are semi-coherent structures of plasma and magnetic fields that are sentient, like
Well, the
hyper-intelligent.
thing is that they're not sentient, is what they're saying. But with this whole UFO and whistleblower type stuff, where it says there's at least 4 types of other human life that the government's aware of. One of them is sentient plasmoids. Sent these plasma balls, right, held together that are actually smart.
Okay.
And can interact with humans based off their emotions and stuff, because we have an electromagnetic spectrum.
Okay.
And so my thought was, with the sentient plasmoid, that describes a Foo Fighter that was seen in World War II. Foo Fighter, those little bright balls of light that would, whip around and do all sorts of stuff that some pilots would see on bombing missions.
I don't know. When I think sentient plasmoid, I'm thinking like those big giant amoeba aliens you see on Men in Black and Futurama,
Yeah, but these are more energy based.
Okay.
Have you not watched enough Star Trek to see a weird sentient energy ball go into the ship and zip around and
but
do
it's
stuff?
more anomalous than the Foo Fighter reports. The Foo Fighter reports seem to have more structure about them to me.
No.
Or more energy-based structure, I should say.
Well, that's what sentient plasmoids are. If it can pass through the skin of an aircraft,
Okay.
and it can also pass through the shields and the hull of a starship, and it was always like, we have to find a way to communicate with it. But if those actually exist, that can explain a lot. So maybe Foo Fighters could be explained that way. Maybe the Brown Mountain Lights could be explained that way. Maybe all the weird anomalous lights and plasma energy balls that people allegedly seen that seem to be smart enough to avoid things and do all that. Maybe there's something to it. You think a sentient plasma would probably make a great probe.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was mentioned in a brief clip. Dude dropped it in conversation. Like at a podium. Then they all had to leave and go vote. So I thought that was kind of weird.
This thing about bees is
Sentient
interesting.
plasmoid. Yeah, it is interesting.
Yeah.
Because we talked about animals using tools and the idea that, animals are maybe not as reflex driven as we thought.
Yeah.
That we're finding out that, elephants use tools, anteaters use tools, chimpanzees use tools.
Raccoons, bears,
otters.
some dogs. Yeah. They surprise me every time. Bees can use tools to solve problems, according to a new study. Insects have now joined the list of species capable of solving simple box and banana problem that demonstrates basic intelligence. Bumblebees specifically can use tools to solve a problem, according to experiments that demonstrate their remarkably advanced cognitive abilities. The bees were given an adapted version of an experiment that 100 years ago first demonstrated chimpanzees could work out how to retrieve an out-of-reach banana by stacking boxes. Since then, various other primates, elephants, and crows have joined an elite cohort of species known to be capable of this level of insight. In latest research, the bees were shown to be able to roll a polystyrene ball to a specific location.
That'd be a ping pong ball.
Yeah, and climb onto it in order to access an artificial flower on a low ceiling.
Don't you ever make fun about me reading again.
Well, you interrupted me and you broke my train of thought.
Reading's hard, isn't it?
So, anyways, they used this ball, rolled it across to a location that had a low height ceiling so that they could access an artificial flower. These findings challenge the long-standing assumptions that insects operate purely on instinct and mindless trial and error learning. I've never thought that. I've thought that, at least in bees, there's some sort of recognition in patterns. Flowers are shaped like flowers.
Well, in our last
colors,
podcast, we talked about actually 2 different stories. One was a swarm of bees that this guy commanded and released in the courtroom.
Yeah.
And then another one was, I don't know if we actually talked about that. Well, it's sort of a tradition with beekeepers, like especially over in Europe and stuff, where when the beekeeper dies, you go tell the bees.
Oh, yeah.
So you go tell the bees that the beekeeper died so that they understand.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of pictures of like the beekeeper died, and there was a swarm of bees that followed her with the whole funeral procession.
Yeah. I've always found at least bees in general to be not necessarily reflex-based machines like these doctors and researchers are saying. I've always considered them responsive. So in the sense that the seasons change, therefore their natural response is to either huddle up or start pollinating flowers, that type of thing. Oh, the season is changing. It's getting colder. Let's stock honey. Reflex, I don't know. Maybe I just misunderstand reflex.
Well, they're saying reflex in response to stimuli.
Yeah, okay.
Like they have a small amount of commands or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they used to say that goldfish only had like a 4-second attention span, but then they've proven that wrong.
Yeah.
You put the food at the end of a maze and it eventually figures it out and knows where it is every single time after that.
But like I've watched bees like access difficult flowers.
Yeah, bees are smart.
Yeah. So
they're good pollinators. They know what's up. And then you look at their nests. I mean, they're precisionally made.
I know. Yeah.
Everybody's got a job. They know when they need to cool the nest. They know all that stuff. Yeah. So we are getting one step closer to realizing that all animals have some degree of sentience. We just can't communicate with them, right?
Yes.
And so it's going to empower people to go, we shouldn't eat anything with a face. But they've already proven that plants scream when you cut them. So what are we supposed to do? We're just going to be making fake food and eating little protein cubes.
Okay.
In the future, so we don't do any of that stuff. I don't know. Anyway, I think we're done talking. It's time to go eat some fried chicken out of a box. There you go. So This has been the CreepGeeks Podcast. This is season 10, episode 362. World Cup FIFA 2026, Stargate, Star Trek, Sentient Plasmoids, and Good Drone, Bad Drone.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, reach out to our socials. It's real easy to find us. Look for CreepGeeks. We're on Facebook and everywhere else. Or you can call a number. But anyway, I think that's it.
Okay.
You have anything you'd like to add?
Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to join us on social media.
Yes. I really do know how to read. All right.
Bye.
See you later. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.